Preserve the wildlife with Eye Sea Light. By intensive treatment from Head & Shoulders, tough on persistent dandruff without medicated hair. And by KDKA TV, for all your Stanley Cup highlights and scores each night. Catch Eyewitness News tonight at 11. It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Tonight from the Civic Arena, it's Game 4 of the Wales Conference Finals between the Penguins and the Boston Bruins. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Civic Arena. The Penguins battling the Bruins down 2-1 of this best-of-7 series, but the Penguins coming off a big victory over Boston on Sunday night. They had a 4-1 advantage, and in fact, the Penguins have played very well in this series, despite the fact that they're down in it against the Bruins. The Bruins noticeably upset with what they consider to be very physical tactics by the Penguins, and Mike Milbury has promised some changes for his club. He is going to make those changes tonight, and you really don't know what to expect with these two teams.
Well, he's putting 4 different players into the lineup, 3 of whom really could not be considered physical players necessarily. Nevin Markward is one of them. He's a guy who's a bit of a kamikaze type player, and Lyndon Byers is another. I guess you could legitimately call him a goon if you want to use that word. That's a word that Mike Milbury's been throwing around quite a bit the last couple of days. The Bruins have always been a team that likes to win through intimidation of all sorts, and perhaps a war of words was started by Mike Milbury yesterday. I guess you'd call it that, and he fired the first shot.
Taken enough physical abuse, and I don't believe it's been warranted, the extent of it. I think we're going to have to respond to it, and I think we're going to have to play an extremely physical game.
That's a psychological warfare. They work in the referee. The referee says those bad Penguins, you know, second in the National Hockey League all year in penalties against, right? We're the bad Penguins. Mario Lemieux is picking on his team, you know. And, but it's a psychological part, you know, and try to intimidate. The intimidation was there the other night on the bench, breaking sticks, pounding the glass, you know what I mean? He wants to be the Bobby Knight of basketball, Bobby Knight of hockey, you know, and that's the job of the referee, and I have no control over the officials.
Mike, when did you ever think that you'd hear the people on the Boston Bruins side saying that the Penguins are playing too physically? I mean, it's just such a turnaround from the way it used to be in the old days.
Well, the truth of the matter is, I think the Penguins have been physical, but in a very positive way. They've finished their checks. They've been strong against the Bruins. They've had the better speed in this series. And now we want to look at the key players and what they've done so far in the first 3 games. And as we look at it, the Boston Bruins have gotten good performances out of Ray Bourque, who has 6 points in the series, the leading defenseman scoring in the NHL, Craig Janney, who has 7, Cam Neely with 4 goals for the Bruins. The counter side of it, well, the Penguins have had their top guns going too. It's been a pretty high-scoring series. Recchi with 4 points. Lemieux has been red hot here in the last 2 games for the Penguins, and perhaps maybe the difference in this series as it goes along, and Kevin Stevens, who just continues to play very consistent hockey for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And one factor you might look at in this game before it's all done, the Penguin power play is only 2 for 17 in the series so far. That's working with a man advantage. 1 for its last 15 attempts. I can't see Boston keeping Pittsburgh down, especially with the likes of Dave Poulin and Kenny Hodge out of their lineup. And I think it's just a matter of time before the Penguins power play explodes against the Bruins.
And along those lines, Mike, it seems like every time a team challenges the Penguins physically and gives them power play opportunities, they cash in on the power play. It seems as though they use the power play to their advantage most often in those situations.
I want to tell you one other thing before we break, though. The Bruins find a way to win. They lead the series 2-1. They'd love nothing better than to beat Pittsburgh and go home on Thursday night trying to close it out. Pens and Bruins coming up in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
WDBE welcomes the World Wrestling Federation when it returns live to the Pittsburgh Civic Arena Sunday, May 19th at 7:30 p.m. You'll feel the power in the main event as the Ultimate Warrior battles The Undertaker. Other matches include the Nasty Boys defending the tag team belts against the Legion of Doom, and Earthquake collides with Jake the Snake Roberts. Tickets on sale at the box office and all Tri-States locations. The WWF, May 19th at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena.
Why do women always know when you're not telling them the whole story? And why do they always change plans at the last minute? And why do we keep putting up with them?
Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste and dry brewed for no aftertaste. So while women may remain a mystery, refreshment won't.
At
Arnold Furniture, quality is made affordable with great savings every day on an incredible selection of home furnishings. Save on name brand living room sets, sofas, love seats, and end tables in a variety of styles and patterns. Also, check out our everyday low prices on quality dinette sets, bedroom sets, and water beds. Arnold Furniture, where quality is made affordable every day. Visit their gallery today on 5th Avenue in Arnold.
Imagine a place where summer never ends. Orlando, Florida is the #1 family vacation destination in the entire USA. Royal Travel can take you there for only $2.99. Fly US Air round trip and stay 7 nights at an Orlando family resort, and kids under 16 travel for only $179. Explore the magical Walt Disney World and experience all the fun and excitement of Universal Studios Florida. Call your local travel agent or Royal Travel today to receive your free Orlando vacation brochure.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for the Penguins and Bruins in Game 4 of the Wales Conference Championship Series. The Bruins will try to dictate the tone with a physical game. And again, as we told you, the Penguins' power play could come into play there. And it is overdue, a 2 for 17 in the series so far. The Penguins have won 3 in a row now at the Civic Arena in the playoffs, and they've held opponents to 1 goal or less in 5 of their 9 playoff wins. Penguins have outshot the Bruins in all 3 games in this series, so 101-81 is the total for shots on goal in this series so far. And the Bruins hope to forecheck more effectively against the Penguins. Mike Milbury didn't feel that the Penguins' defense was pressured enough by those Bruin forwards.
The scratches for tonight for the Boston Bruins: Kenny Hodge out with a shoulder problem, Wes Walls, Dave Poulin out with a groin pull, Stefan Kentel out of the lineup, Jim Weimer, Chris Winnis, Ron Hoover, Kenny Hammond, Norm Foster, all out for the Bruins. For the Penguins, Jim Pack, Gordy Dineen, Barry Peterson, Jay Caulfield, Ken Priestley, Jamie Leach, Randy Hillier, Yuri Herdina sits tonight, and Randy Gilliam will play for the Pens. Paul Coffey, Wendell Young, and Bruce Racine. By the way, Matt Del Giudice is not playing, also a goaltender for the Bruins here tonight. And the referee for this game will be Bill McCreary, who, interestingly enough, was the man down involved in the pregame battle, if you will, between the Penguins and Bruins in Game 3. So they usually send the referee that's going to work the next game in to work as a backup for that game. And he was here, so he's very much aware of the tension and what has gone on between these two teams. And the backup tonight is Don Koharski. And we would, I'm just guessing, probably see him on Thursday night at Boston. And here from the Civic Arena in just a moment, Pittsburgh's own Bogues will come out and sing our national anthem here. Now, this is a best-of-7 series. The Bruins won the first 2 games at home, and the Penguins won Game 3. And should it go 7, the 7th game would be played at Boston on Monday night. Here we go, our national anthem.
What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave America.
Another sellout crowd here at the Civic Arena to see the Penguins against the Boston Bruins. And the Bruins starting tonight will go with Chris Nyland, Cam Neely, and Bob Sweeney up front. Here's the referee, Bill McCreary, with Randy Bitton and also Ray Scapanello. Andy Moog, the starting netminder for the Bruins. 10-6 in the playoffs for the Boston team, and a 2.80 goals against average, save percentage of .906. And Barrasso 6-5, .284 his goals against mark, and his save percentage is .908. And as we said, it'll be Neely, Sweeney, and Nyland up front against Francis, Mullen, and Kevin Stevens. Penguins move right to left, decked out of their home whites. The Bruins in the dark black with the gold pants and white trim, and here we go. Game 4 underway, and Ray Bourque drives into the Penguin net for the first shot on goal, and Barrasso will stop it. Stand defensively for the Penguins, wheeling around the boards, and Francis comes up with the puck. Stuff it over now to the near side to Wolf Samuelson. Lay it ahead, and he took a bump from Chris Nyland. Back to center, Janney corrals the puck and put it to the Bruins into Ray Bourque, and a lead pass beyond everybody. This might be an icing call against the Bruins very quickly, and it is. So they'll bring it back to the left of goaltender Andy Moog. Off Samuelson.
Well, he's the guy who seemed to set off Mike Milbury with the hit he put on Cam Neely. It was the second time in this series that Ulf Samuelson has hit Cam Neely in that spot in the neutral zone after Neely had just gotten rid of the puck. Neely tried to push the puck around Samuelson and then go around him. And Samuelson just finished his check, went right into him, and they claimed that he kneed him, and everybody said that looking at the video, they saw that he stuck his knee out, but if you watch the video, you'll notice that he didn't stick his knee out at all. I guess it's just what you see and what you want to see at times. That's how the Bruins felt about it, and they're using it for motivation.
Recchi, Lemieux, and Bourque now up front for the Penguins. That's Phil Bourque. And they'll go against the same line. And now Janney's going to take center with Nyland and Cam Neely. And Ray Bourque has to handle the draw, and he beat Mark Recchi, and the Bruins come away with it. Alan Peterson, one of the players playing tonight. Samuelson collides with Cam Neely as they bounce each other around to center ice. Up with the puck will be Paul Stanton. Turn it back to center. Recchi was elbowed by Nyland from behind. Play goes on. It goes into the Penguins in, and Ulf Samuelson slam it around, and a good check by Neely on Ulf Samuelson. Samuelson puts the body back into Neely. Left side, Alan Peterson trying to shoot it. The Bruin bench is up. So they're psychologically trying to get it going. Penalty coming up here, and I think it's going to be against the Bruins. The Bruins will get a penalty. Nyland running anything that moves, and I believe Boston will be penalized. It'll be an elbowing call or interference, one of the two against the Bruins, and they'll be shorthanded. Nyland goes off.
I think as much as anything, the Bruins are setting a tone for the rest of this series, not so much for this game here tonight. Yes, they want to win the game here tonight, but they also know they're going back into their building for Game 5. And this is the kind of game that they've become famous for, or perhaps infamous for, in the Boston Garden. And the battle continues between number 8 and number 5, Cam Neely and Ulf Samuelson.
And it's been a good one, and then Neely, pardon me, Nyland with an elbow in on Ulf Samuelson. He got him, knocked him down, so Nyland sits down for interference. 51 seconds in, the Penguins work on the power play, and we told you it's just 2 for 17 against the Bruins in this series. But the way you answer the play of the Bruins coming out, as Nyland did there, is you put it in the net. And then they really get in a position where they can't take penalties. It'll be Stevens, Lemieux, and Mark Recchi with Larry Murphy and Scott Young, who really looks to get on track in the playoffs. He has just not been able to do anything at all offensively, and he certainly has had opportunities. So Scotty Young, you got a feeling, is just due for a big game somewhere.
Let's not forget the Bruins are without Dave Poulin, their top penalty killer.
Stevens and Lemieux ahead of Recchi now. Bruins in, comes down, shoots, and a good save by Morgan. The rebound played right to Ray Bourque, and the Bruin defenseman slams it off the boards and away to the Penguins in. Barrasso will set it up for Scott Young. He'll start to the right of goaltender Barrasso. 1:35 to go on the penalty. Penguins without Paul Coffey tonight. Of course, he's been out of the lineup with that broken jaw. Ray Bourque whacked it off the boards and over the glass, and the Bruins in, and we'll get a face-off that'll take place outside of the, pardon me, I beg your pardon, to the left of goaltender Andy Moog.
Stevens hit it, and then Bourque hit it. It went up over the glass and into the stand, so the face-off will be to the left of the Boston goal. Mark Recchi leading all scorers in the playoffs, Mike, and I asked him today, he's the one guy you like to talk to about the way the Penguins have been playing, and particularly the last game. So many opportunities for the Penguins. Besides the shots on goal that they got, they missed the net a few times and had several breakaways. Recchi had one. They just got to skate. He said, go to the hole and skate and work hard the way we have been and play our game and not worry about what the Bruins are planning to do. And I think skating, it's just like what Bob Johnson always says. Nobody can skate faster than that puck.
Here's the play to the far corner. Recchi gets it. Bruins in. Right side to Murphy. Now the left point to Scott Young, and he shoots it. That's off the boards. It comes right to the Bruins, but they can't clear. Stevens trying to give it to Lemieux. Lemieux in the right wing corner. Tapping it behind the net by Recchi. Stevens over for it. He can't come up with it. Scott Young, will he get there? Lazaro fell down, and the Penguins get it to the near corner by Lemieux, though, and it goes all the way to the right side. Recchi behind the net to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux with the Penguins. Step to the right of Andy Moog. He's handled by Ray Bourque. Lemieux trying to feed it back in front. He can't do it, and the Bruins take it away, and they clear. Stevens put a check into Ray Bourque and sent him flying, and Stevens down also. And play is stopped as it came into the Bruins bench. And now face it off, and the Bruins in again. Ray Bourque, who put a big thumping check on Lemieux in game number 3. And Lemieux's fair game as anybody else is on the ice on good hard checks, and Ray Bourque working over Mario Lemieux. And Stevens came in and then hit Ray Bourque with his shoulder, sent him flying.
And Stevens went down in the process. Just to finish what I was saying about Bob Johnson always saying no one can skate faster than the puck. The Penguins moved the puck so well against the Boston Bruins in game 3, and they need to do it again here tonight. And you just catch the Bruins in between passes. And that's the way to keep the tempo going the way the Penguins like it to go.
Their penalty killing now will feature Dave Christian out here to handle the draw against Francis. Lemieux remains on. And Yager and Francis, the 2 men up front with him, but Don Sweeney comes up with it. The Bruins have had a tough time in faceoffs, but they win a big one there, and they blast it up to the Penguin zone. Phil Bourque playing the left point now with Scott Young off of it. 40 seconds to go on the penalty up to Jaromir Yager. Yager cuts his way to the Bruins in. A drop pass outside of the line. He was trapped inside. Penguins can't go in. They have to set up shop again. Evan Marquardt playing here for the Bruins. His first game of the series. And it comes to Larry Murphy. Marquardt played only 23 games in the regular year, out with assorted injuries during the course of the season. Yager trying to get in. The Bruins stop that, and they flip it back to center ice. So Boston just 15 seconds away right now of killing the first penalty of the night to Chris Nyland. Lemieux carries him out of the Bruins in. Down the left wing board, shoots it in behind the net, and Andy Moog hurries it along the far wing. The Bruins come up with it. They'll clear, and that'll do it. So they've killed the first penalty of the night. Hyman went off for interference, and the Penguins grab it, and they're at equal strength again. They shoot it to the Bruins in, and Gary Galley goes back. Yager trying to get him and take the puck in the same motion. Couldn't do it, and Chris Nyland scooting back for the Bruins. His pass broken up by Loney, and now Nyland and Loney collide. Right at center ice, Cam Neely's over to trying to take it, and he'll whip it back into the Penguin zone. Ulf Samuelsson delivers it out of the area back to the neutralized zone. Galley of Boston going to Glenn Wesley, and a right wing pass. Karams off the boards into the Penguin zone. Stanton in trouble with it. Went by him. Allen comes in and hammers him with a good check. Penguins trying to move it out of their own end. Trottier looking for Loney, and here he comes with Scott Young. Loney right wing against Bob Beers, the native Pittsburgh. Around him, cuts down the slot. Loney trying to shoot it. He couldn't do it. It rolled off his stick. Loney now goes behind the net. He is hammered on a hard check there by Cam Neely. And he went off his skates. Neely collides with Loney again. Penguins owing the Bruins in. Right point to Stanton of Pittsburgh. Shoots it. Stopped by Moog. The rebound. And it squirts free from him, but Neely has it. Neely over skated. There's a broken stick back behind the Bruins net. The blade of it anyway, but the Bruins have the puck and they clear. Up ice it goes. Bob Beers had broken his stick. He comes off now. Samuelsson back to retrieve the puck in the Penguin zone. Lay it ahead off a blade, and that Karams back to the Bruins zone. Ray Bourque. We're just over 4 minutes into period number 1. There is no score. Petri Skriko going left wing to Vladimir Ruzicka. Ruzicka, long whistling shot, wide of the net. Comes off the right point and knocked down with Stevens by Ray Bourque. Bruins keep it in. Skriko put it in the slot. After it is Ron Francis. He lost his helmet. Taglianetti trying to clear. Still a bouncing biscuit. Still in the Penguins in. They come out with it. Here's Mullen on a 3-on-2 to Francis. Francis to the Bruins in. Drop pass to Stevens. Down the slot. Shoots it deflected right in front. And it went wide of the net. Mullen was hit by Dave Christian as he went for that puck. Played around the Bruins goal. Alan Peterson is hit on the play by Joey Mullen. But the Bruins have possession. And they shoot it up off a leg. And it comes right to Ray Bourque. Now Bourque circling back in his own end. Giving the puck to Alan Peterson. Peterson is centered. We'll drill that one to the Penguin zone. It comes off the right wing corner. In digging for it will be Gary Galley. Can't get it. Right point Christian shoots it. It hit Galley his old man. The Penguins have it. Here's Mullen ahead for Lemieux. Off his skates. One man to beat back. Bruins in. Lemieux comes down in his backhand shot. Morgan an easy time with that and made the save. Now controlled by Gary Galley. And Galley sets up shop in his own zone. Pass left wing to Don Sweeney. And the Bruin defenseman will shoot it in. Out here for the Bruins defensively, Don Sweeney and Gary Galley. The Penguins have Larry Murphy and also Gordy Roberts. They've been teamed up for the better part of the year and have played together. Roberts shoots that one, lays it off the boards. It might be an icing call here against the Pants. Recky's going in to try and get it, but he is checked by Sweeney, and the Bruins get there first. 14:28 to go in period number 1. There is no score on the Penguins Hockey Network.
While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a way to consolidate all your bills and loans. Home equity loans from Mellon. While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a college education. Home equity loans from Mellon.
Well, Mike, I think the Bruins coming out and setting a physical tone as they did with Nyland out here on the on the first shift and going after Samuelson and then killing the penalty will give them some confidence. That gets them going in the right direction anyway. So far their plan has worked in that sense that they're not behind and they've been able to establish themselves physically in this game so far.
Randy Gillen on the ice to handle the faceoff with Recchi and Lemieux. And Recchi comes up with a puck, but he had it knocked aside and back into the Penguins' end, and one of the Bruins offside on the play. Recchi takes a little bump on the far side now as they start to jaw on the far wing. Is that Randy Burridge out there for the Bruins? Yeah, it is. He and Mark Recchi. Well, the Penguins have to remain a little disciplined here. They want to be able to stand up if the Bruins come at them physically, but the Bruins really are not that much of a real physical team, and I don't think the Penguins are either. They haven't shown that aspect of the game all year.
Bob Johnson made mention of the fact that the Penguins were the second least penalized team in the league this year, and the Bruins were third. So neither team was prone to take a lot of penalties, and they wanted to do it that way.
Burridge in whacking away at Recchi right now. McCreary comes over to say something to Randy Burridge, and I know exactly. He said, I'm not letting it get out of hand, Randy, so don't keep doing it. You'll be going off. Recchi and Burridge just right against one another. And now Burridge puts the stick into him after the faceoff, and it is Gordy Roberts. Moving the puck down the left wing back to center. Sweeney of Boston corrals it, trying to go to the Penguins in, and he got in around Gordy Roberts, dropping back to Peter Duras, who will shoot it. That's off the stick of Barrasso. Coming up with it near corner is Gary Galligan deep in the play. Galligan to the right point. Duras shoots it, and it hit us. Something went just wide of the net. Penalty coming up against the Penguins. Sweeney was pulled down by Murphy, and the Penguins will be shorthanded here. Larry Murphy heads to the penalty box. No score. First period here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
I witnessed the difference on KDKA TV2.
Murphy held Bob Sweeney. Bruins winning those battles for the loose pucks on that particular shift, and it led to a penalty as Murphy reached out and grabbed Sweeney, who seemed to be headed for a loose puck in the far corner at the time, and Bruins go to work on their first power play opportunity. They were 0 for 4 in the power play in Game 3.
Holding the call against Penguin defenseman Larry Murphy and Cam Neely, Craig Janney, and Vladimir Ruzicka come out. The Bruins third overall on the power play against the Penguins. They fared pretty well. 5 for 18, 5 for 17, but however, they have been scoreless in their last 5 power play chances. And the point men will be Wesley and Ray Bork. And Gillen out in the penalty killing role with Joe Mullen, with Stanton and off Samuelson on the backside. Face off Penguins in, top of the circle to the right of Tom Barrasso. Scoreless game, first period, Game 4. The Bruins lead the series 2-1. The Penguins win the draw easily, and they slam it away to the Bruins zone. Andy Moog will leave it for Ray Bork. Bork now turns it over, and it comes to Ruzicka, who had 8 points in the first 2 games against the Penguins, according to a 5-point game in game number 2. But the Bruins misfire on a pass here, and it's cleared away. Samuelson and Neely again matched up 1-on-1. Ray Bork goes back to hand on, put in front of his own net. And it's Glenn Wesley taking command of it. Wesley to Ray Bork. Bork steps up to center red, and he'll drive it up to the Penguins in. Around the boards to the right wing corner, Samuelson collides with Neely, and it comes to the right point to Wesley of Boston. Wesley going left side. Neely with 8 power play goals to lead everybody in that department. Shot towards the net, blocked by Gillen, and he clears to take the heat out of a hot kitchen. And the Penguins are shorthanded by a man. They have a man in the penalty box. The Bruins on a power play, working with a five skater against 4 situation, not including the goaltenders. And it'll be Gordy Roberts coming up to slip it away. You can fire it all the way up ice without an icing call here in a shorthanded situation for those of you new to the game. Lemieux in shorthanded trying to take it away, forcing the Bruins back into their own end with 52 seconds to go on the Penguin penalty to Larry Murphy. And here comes Glenn Wesley now. He'll start up and ram it up into the Penguins in. Around to the right wing corner. Neely's the first man there for the Bruins. He's in the right wing corner. It hopped up on the dasher board. Now bouncing free behind the net. Ruzicka, Neely, and Janney. Nobody in front. It goes to Galley, though. Shooting off the glove of Barrasso and wide. Down the left side, Wesley of Boston. Sneak it back in the corner. And it went off somebody and up into the crowd over the glass.
Well, Lemieux was in there fishing the loose puck along the side of the net, and it got pushed out of there. He came right to Galley, and he whistled it just wide of the far post. That's a time when you want to get that shot on the net. I think that Barrasso may have gotten his glove on it, but I don't know if that shot was ticketed for the inside of the post or not. 16 playoff goals.
No, he's
the
got
NHL.
15, not 16.
Yeah, that's right, it is 15.
Yeah.
I thought so. They gave him one last game. I think he got an assist last game, but not a goal.
The record is 19 in a playoff year, held by several players. Newsy Lalonde, Reggie Leach.
That's right.
And Yari Curry.
That's the other guy. You got him, Newsy Lalonde, way back in 1919.
And the Penguins had a guy named Newsy Lalonde that played for them. His name was Ron Lalonde, played here in 74-75. Here's Beers of Boston working the power play to Janney. Right side, shoots it, and it hit a leg and went wide. Now Janney controls with 12 seconds to go on the Penguin penalty. Over to Cam Neely. Breaking towards the net, now pulls back, looking, put it behind the goal to Janney. He's very clever from that spot. Janney moving and wheeling and dealing. Man cutting for the net is Beers. They can't get it to him. Beers goes in deep behind the net. Play it near side to Srico. The penalty is over. Penguins at equal strength. Beers shoots it, stopped by Barrasso. The rebound comes off left point to Galley of Boston. He'll throw it in behind the Penguin net, and after it, Samuelson. Samuelson ramming up the wood and back to center. Beers handing Austin. Here's Murphy back with Bork, 2-on-1. Murphy left side, Bruins in, comes in, shoots it. A glove save made by Andy Moe. And it goes to Petri Srico. Srico hurries back now for the Bruins. Going to the Penguin line. Drop pass to Janney. Fake a shot. He moves in. Whip it towards the net, and it hits something. Might have hit Barrasso's stick and went wide of the goal. Janney's now in the game. Opens up. Here's Recchi to the right wing. Boston in against Peterson. Drop it back. Man open. There's a shot by Taglianetti. Block. Gets it back. Beat it in front. Recchi. The pass was too hard for him. He couldn't get to it. Lemieux behind the goal. Challenged by Janney. It's a mismatch. He put it in front. Score! Lemieux to the open man in front. Bob Airy. And the Penguins have taken a 1-0 lead. Oh, hallelujah, Hollywood. Janney against Lemieux, and there was a mismatch there. And Lemieux just out-muscled him, found Airy, and Airy dumped it in. Penguins lead 1-0.
Lemieux allows the opposition player behind the net to get in position against him. He lets him get in first. Then he sneaks up from behind and uses his stick to pick his pocket. He's great at that. Watch how Janney's in position. He gets to where he wants to be. He's got position on Lemieux, but Lemieux just holds him off with a hip. Lets the puck come through, grabs it, puts it right on the stick of Airy, and he puts it in the net.
I'm telling you who made a great play on that. Not only Lemieux, but Mark Recchi. Recchi went to the corner. He was draped over, fit it back, knowing where Lemieux was going to be, and Lemieux did the rest. Bob Airy gets the goal, and for Bob Airy, his third of the playoffs. So the Penguins have a 1-0 lead on a pretty passing play, set up nicely by Recchi and Lemieux. That was great teamwork there with those three guys working. And Janney just could not contain Mario Lemieux. It's not his fault. He's just not big enough physically to contain him. Here's Ray Bork.
The Penguins, we all know how well they play with a lead.
And here is Bob Sweeney now on the Bruins. Moving the puck to the right wing side of the Penguins in, and Ronnie Francis back to capture it. Francis hit by Burries, but the Penguins take control of it, and Jennings down the left wing. And Moe was just helpless on that play because of Lemieux's pinpoint passing. He spotted Airy out of the corner of his eye, and it was just 2-on-1 really in front of the net, and Airy just dumped it in. He did the job. He finished the play. That's what the Penguins have. They have finishers, and Bob Airy certainly in that category with a 20-goal season for the Penguins again. Now worked around the wood and back now to the Boston line. And Ray Bork finding Bob Sweeney. Has Burridge open on the left wing, gets it to him. Burridge of Boston hit on the play by Larry Murphy. The Penguins striking at 8:49 to lead the game 1-0, and now they jam it on the boards, and they'll hold it right there. We'll pause with the Penguins leading 1-0 here. As the tempers heat up, and here comes Galley to take a run at one of the Penguins, sends Gordy Roberts flying. And we'll hold on right here now as Gordy Roberts gets involved with John Sweeney. And Galley and Stevens have some big words, and referee Bill McCreary grabbing Galley and saying, hey, that's it, back off. Burridge and Joe Mullen. Just kind of a pushing match there.
And a staring match, too. Neither player saying a word, just staring at each other. Eyeball to eyeball. Gary Mullen, a former Lady Big Trophy winner, so he doesn't take a lot of penalties, that's for sure.
Penguins 1, the Bruins nothing. We'll be back in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Sometimes less is more. Presenting Plymouth Acclaim. Price $33.50 less than Honda Accord with more advantages. A bigger engine, available anti-lock brakes, seating for 6, more rear legroom. Plus, you get the advantage of over 50 standard features, including an airbag. And now you can drive a new Acclaim for only $193 a month. With all these value advantages, it's no wonder Acclaim is Chrysler's best-selling car.
Look to the showroom displaying the new logo of the dealers with the advantage.
Out of this whole situation, Kevin Stevens and the Penguins are going to get another penalty. They're going to be shorthanded. 9:37, the time of penalties that will be issued. Gordy Roberts has gone in for the Penguins. I think Gary Galley for the Bruins, and Kevin Stevens also for the Penguins.
Now this is the goal here. Peterson trying to nail Mark Recchi in the head from behind. Recchi, though, got the puck away in a hurry to Lemieux, who made a great play and a pass to Bob Airy to set up the goal.
And again, it was Recchi with a brilliant play, leading all scorers in the playoffs, setting up Lemieux, and Mario just out-muscled Janney. He could not stop him. He didn't have enough.
See, Janney thinks, and he's in that situation, he probably feels somewhat comfortable because he's got Lemieux behind him. Mario just simply overpowered him from behind, took the puck away.
Well, the Bruin penalty to Gary Galley, I believe, or Sweeney. Bob Sweeney's in there. Bob Sweeney, a roughing call at 9:37. Roberts roughing, and Stevens also. Second power play chance for the Bruins. Janney, Neely, and Rosichka up front. And the Penguin penalty killers will be Randy Gillen and Joe Mullen. Bruin point men remain the same. They'll go with Ray Bork and Wesley, but the Penguins take it away again, and they slam it back to the Bruins zone. Andy Moog off his stick. Wesley gets command of it. Around to Ray Bork. Penguins lead 1-0. 10 minutes into period number 1. Trying to even this series at 2 games apiece. Game 5 will be played at Boston on Thursday. Wesley hurries up to the Penguin line. Long shot. Barrasso down to his knees to make the stick save. Played up the boards to Ray Bork. Bork giving away now, Willie, to Randy Gillen. Gillen's played strong in the penalty coming so far for the Penguins.
It's an understatement. He was really tough on that shift.
A minute 15 to go. Lemieux steps on for the Penguins along with Bob Airy. The Bruins have given up 3 short-handed goal in the playoffs. Neely tried to pull the trigger. He couldn't against Grant Jennings. Neely pulls back now. Halfway up right wing boards. Penguins in. Over to Craig Janney of Boston. Right point pass to Wesley. Has Bork open left side. They set him up. Bork moves in. Tapping it behind the net. Neely went after, so did Lemieux. But it's Bob Airy of the Penguins coming up with it. Can't clear it. Hit the backside of Craig Janney. Janney to the right wing. To Wesley. Had it stripped away by Airy, and he gets it ahead of Lemieux. Back 1-on-1 with Ray Bork, but he slows down. Nowhere to go as Neely got back to converge on him. And a check on Ray Bork by the Penguins' Bob Airy. And the Bruins set it up again with 37 seconds to go. Blasted deep into the Penguins end. Took a weird bounce off the corner, but it goes to Lemieux, and he tried to clear. Couldn't. He gets it back and does send it away to center to Bob Airy. Airy skates to the Bruin line. Fakes a shot. Now lets it go, and Ray Bork got a stick down. Look out. That one in the crowd. It hit somebody. Yes. Boy, that got a fan right in the head, and he appears to be bleeding. It deflected up and caught a fan right in the forehead.
Wouldn't pay me to sit back there, I'll tell you right now.
No.
And I'll tell you where you really see that is in the Boston Garden. You wonder how people could sit back there in that building.
Boy, that fan just got smashed.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely smashed, and he's under his own power going out. And he is going to have some recovery time coming up. And we'll see if we can get him back. Maybe they'll send him down to the locker room, fix him up, and have him back in the seat as they do the player. They just stitch him up. They don't even use Novocaine or anything. They just stitch him up, bring him right back. It's the first aid room here at the Civic Arena. Now they may have some Novocaine. Island back on the power play, going to the Penguins in. 4 seconds to go on the Penguin penalty. Phil Bork takes a run at Galley, sends him flying. Penguins have killed it now, and on the ice comes Kevin Stevens. So they're perfect in killing penalties tonight. The Bruins are 0 for 2. Here's Dave Christian, though. Penguins in. Cutting down deep. Penguins lead 1-0. Christian off the corner boards. Look out. He's got room. He shoots, and a good save by Barrasso there. Off his stick. Boy, Christian made a good move out of the corner, but Dave Christian again with the puck. Sneaking in behind the Penguin net. It's all Boston right now. Penguins having trouble getting the puck out. Finally, they do. Ray Bork put it in, but the Penguins have it. And Stanton delivers it over to Wolf Samuelson. Samuelson with Markward on him. He coughed it up to Ray Bork. A lead pass intercepted by Larry Murphy. Murphy defensively going up to Yager, he tried to find Loney. The pass way too hard for him. The Bruins set up shop in their own end, and Randy Burridge jumping on the ice right now. Trying to get to the Penguins in. He can't do it. The Penguins deflect that and force it back to the Bruins line. Loney is hit on a play by Nevin Marquardt right in front of the Bruin bench. They get involved, and the Penguins have the puck, and it comes to Loney left side. Marquardt hooking him from behind. He shoots it anyway. Right to the net. Moog will make the save. In for it is Yager and Loney. Two big guys working here with Brian Trottier. This has been a line the Penguins have used a lot this year. But they can't get command of it now, and Wesley has the puck. Glenn Wesley out with Bob Sweeney. Make it Don Sweeney, I'm sorry. And the Bruins just leave it at center red. Larry Murphy looked to get it ahead of the right wing. Intercepted by Lazaro. Back and forth they go in the neutral zone. Good checking. Finally to Yager. Kicks it ahead. Comes to the Bruins in. Falls down. Still shoots it. Oh, he almost got that in, but a good save by Andy Moog. An almost impossible goal by Yager from his stomach. But a good save by Andy Moog denied him. Yager with a brilliant move in. Yager again up the near boards. Put a check on one of the Bruins. And here comes Boston on the counterattack. Jeff Lazaro slap it towards the Penguin net. That's stopped by Barrasso and moved off the wood and back to center. Alan Peterson.
Jaromir Jagr threw 2 checks on that shift, Mike, and that's something he really hasn't done much of all season long, is take the body when he doesn't have the puck. And I think that's a very encouraging sign. Jagr's starting to learn that part of the game.
Well, he's big enough to do it. And here now is Larry Murphy. Murphy cut around a man, goes to Bob Airy into the Bruins, and he's flying, going to Lemieux, turns and shoots it. Oh, a blistering wrist shot, but he missed the net. He almost buried that one to the far post, and Andy Moog looks and kind of shakes his head as he's seeing that shot by Lemieux. Back it goes into the Bruins zone. Lemieux trying to get a piece of the defenseman Peterson, couldn't do it. Peterson scooted around. Lemieux got nothing but the boards. Cam Neely lay it ahead to center. And Chris Nyland will steer it up into the Penguin zone. Barrasso gets the puck to Peter Taglianetti. And a long pass through the alley. It's a live puck. Andy Moog's going to play it. He'll look for Gary Galley, and Galley will scoop it up, stop behind his own net with a skate stop maneuver. Out to Raybork. Good pass ahead. Janney off his stick. Left wing to Nyland. Penguins zone. Ran into the linesman. Scapanello. And an offside call against the Bruins. 5:41 to go in period number 1. Pittsburgh 1 and Boston nothing on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Working on a boat, I am going down. Working on a boat, how about another round? 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm already home and gone. An Iron Man is always working. We work hard at having fun. Man, it's rough.
At center ice, Ray Bork controls the puck for the Bruins. He'll leave it for Rosie Rosicka, and Rosicka snap it back into the Penguins' end. And right behind the Penguin goal, Gordy Roberts around to Joe Mullen. He simply just clears the zone. Dave Christian of Boston, again with the command of the puck. Coughed it up. Francis out here with Mullen and Kevin Stevens. This line worked very well in game number 3 for the Penguins. And Mullen again with that puck. Gets it back to Larry Murphy, into the Penguin zone to Roberts, and around to Ronnie Francis. Good short pass over to Stevens, breaking to the Bruins here. Drop pass to Mullen. He's got a chance here. Mullen shoots it, blocked over the Bruin defenseman Don Sweeney. Now Mullen off the boards, put it behind the net. Stevens in front of that goal, trying to cause some problems for Andy Moog, and Christian rams him right into Moog. A loose puck around the net, and Ray Bork comes up with the puck and clears the area. Kevin Stevens taking a battery in front of that net. And he is causing some problems for Andy Moog. Here is Ron Francis going to the Bruins end, and the Penguins are offside. We'll pause for a moment. Pittsburgh 1, Boston nothing. Here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
All Giant Eagle stores are open for business and ready to serve you. At all Pittsburgh area Giant Eagle stores, you'll find Maxwell House coffee just $3.99 a 39-ounce can. Honeysuckle turkeys just 58 cents a pound. Save an extra $1 on both with in-ad coupons. Also, russet potatoes are just 98 cents a 10-pound bag. All Giant Eagle stores will accept any Giant Eagle, Foodland, or Shop and Save check cashing cards. For more information regarding any Giant Eagle, call toll-free 1-800-553-2324.
Bruins, we want to get are trying to send a little message intimidating the Penguins, and Kevin Stevens would have nothing to do with it, and Randy Burridge is going to draw a penalty here. He just kept bumping Stevens. The Bruins are aware of what Stevens can do, and why they would take that tactic against that big guy, I don't have any idea. But they are, and it just cost them 2 minutes. And again, discipline, very important for the Penguins. Misconduct penalty, that's what he gets. A misconduct penalty to Randy Burridge. So he'll be gone for 10 minutes.
McCreary was talking to Stevens, and I don't know what about. He got into a battle with Andy Moog in front of the net. He may have been telling Kevin he's going to have to be careful over there because it is interference if you stand in there.
Stevens sought him out. Stevens sought him out. I think he was saying, hey, he was whacking me with a stick and they were banging me around in there. I think that's exactly what happened. He sought out referee Bill McCreary. Burries goes to the locker room and he'll cool off a little bit. A goal by Bob Airy of the Penguins in the first period at 8:49. The only goal of the game, and the Penguins lead 1-0.
Mike Milbury said he thought his forwards were too stagnant in the neutral zone last game. He wanted them skating more after those Penguin defensemen. And you're noticing that here tonight so far in this game. When the Penguin defense get the puck, they're having to hurry it a little more, I think, to their forwards. They're not having as much time to move the puck because the Bruins forwards are skating at them. And they're doing a good job of keeping their wheels moving, a little better than they did in Game 3.
The Bruins have Bob Sweeney out here centering Jeff Lazaro and Peter Duras. And Yager up, and he is sandwiched between Duras and Lazaro. Play his whistle down, a high sticking call coming up. They just chopped up Yager, and the Bruins get another penalty. We'll return. Penguin power play. Coming up, the turkey on the table on the Penguins Hockey Network.
This is the all-new Acura Legend. We'd like you to test drive it. Then we'd like you to test drive the Mercedes 300e, the BMW 525i, the Volvo 940 SE, the Infiniti Q45, and the Lexus LS 400. We're just that confident. When you drive the Acura Legend, you'll buy the Acura Legend. From under $30,000, it's a lot more car for a lot less money. Test drive it now at your Western Pennsylvania Acura dealers.
Well, they've already lost Dave Poulin with a groin injury, one of their top penalty killers, and the guy who plays with him most of the time, Jeff Lazaro, also is going to have to sit down here, so he won't be available for the Bruins penalty killing unit. As he high stick Jaromir Jagr, put the elbow into him, really. He just caught him and elbowed him right in the face.
So Jagr draws the penalty. It's Lazaro actually banging him up. Elbow, as Paul mentioned to you, and the Penguins have a power play. Their second chance here. Bob Sweeney's going to be waved out, and he barks at the linesman, Randy Mitten. Bruins are frustrated right now. They're a frustrated hockey club.
I'll tell you something, Mike. The last team to do this so emphatically, set a tone physically, was the Chicago Blackhawks in the playoffs. You saw what happened to them.
Recchi, Scott Young, and Stevens up front with Murphy and Lemieux, and here's Murphy bringing the puck into the Bruins end. Along the right wing boards to Mark Recchi. 1-0 Pittsburgh leading to Scott Young. Now shoots it towards the net, and he missed the goal. Murphy up the right wing comes in, but he's double teamed. Can the Bruins get it out? They do, and they come back on a 2-on-1 shorthanded against Scott Young. Right side, Bob Sweeney comes down. He shoots it. Barrasso made that save, and he covers up. They almost got trapped in. Barrasso stopping Bob Sweeney from long range. Actually, Sweeney really did not make much of a play on that, did he? Because he had a 2-on-1, and he really fired from long range on Barrasso, unless that's their game plan.
Barrasso's
and he had Scott Young, who really is not a steady defenseman, playing back. So he had some time to work with. Work with a man coming down the left side, but he really didn't do it. Well, I don't know why now, because they caught up to him. Mark Recchi or Stevens got back.
I don't know where Barrasso took that shot, but he got up kind of limping, and he's trying to skate it off right now. He's taking it on the inside of his leg, up high above the pad, right below the pants.
Well, Stevens did get back, and that forced Sweeney to shoot the puck when he did. So my apologies to Bob Sweeney for telling him that he wasn't creating. So that tells you what I know. Mark Ward, left wing on the penalty killing unit.
But he's not particularly creative. That's not his strong suit by any means.
Don Sweeney and Ray Bourque on the backside of the penalty killing. And the Penguins set up shop again, and here comes Scott Young. Cruising through, drop the puck over to Kevin Stevens. He's trying to get around a man, goes to Recchi into the Bruins end, trying to go right wing to Murphy, and that's cut up neatly by Bob Sweeney. Can he clear? He can't. Lemieux has it. Lemieux with the Penguins. Look to push it back to the left point, but Bob Sweeney does a good job of taking the puck away and clearing the center. And Larry Murphy with 1:15 to go on the penalty to the Bruins. Pass by Scott Young right to Ray Bourque, and Bourque's around him coming down the right wing. Bourque's turned around by Scott Young. And the Penguins dearly miss Paul Coffey in this situation as a point man. And it'll be Kevin Stevens with the puck. Stevens stepping up out of his own territory. He'll come leading it up, intended for Lemieux. Cut out by Ray Bourque, who reads that play as well as anybody. And trying to headman the breakaway attempt to Lemieux. Scott Young again now going to Stevens. Over to Lemieux, played off his skates. Couldn't get it through, and the Bruins doing a good job of killing this penalty. Peter Duras forcing the Penguins to set up at their own line. 39 seconds to go, and Scott Young will blast it in. It goes behind the net. Andy Moog will leave it for Don Sweeney. And he is checked by Mark Recchi, but does deliver it ahead back to Penguin territory. So the Bruins really do a magnificent job. They don't allow the Penguins to make a change at all in their power play until right now, almost a minute 40 seconds in. And here they come, though, on the final rush up. Bork coming to the Bruins in. It's Phil Bork to Lemieux. Drop it to Murphy down the slot. Shoots it. Where'd it go? Went wide. Lemieux off the left wing side for the Penguins. Try to feather it over. He's got a man, Francis, cutting for the net. Goes to Yager. Shooting. Stop. Rebound. Lemieux. Fire. Save. Rebound again. It's loose to the left of the net. Here's Francis over to Phil Bork. Bork around to Lemieux. Right there. Stop. Shoots. Oh, hit the post. Rebound again. Andy Moog's going to come up with it. Ah, great balls of fire right in front. The Penguins could not get it in against Andy Moog. Lemieux, I think, hit the pipe as Big Ben struck one, and it bounced and bounced and bounced all around that net, but not in. And Andy Moog, the last man to grab it and hold on. Big situation there for the Bruins. They come up big there.
Lemieux did a good job of dodging checks in the corner and maintaining possession of the puck. He found Murphy coming down the slot. He shot it wide of the net. Lemieux got it back. Bork had it. He teed it up. And then didn't shoot it. He went over to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux held the puck while Moog was down and tried to put it upstairs. I don't know how that didn't go in.
Hit the post.
Unbelievable.
So the Bruins fight it off, and the Penguins remain on top 1-0. Got to remember that sequence. In case this game changes, the Penguins that close, dangerously close to going up 2-0.
Great work by the Bruins to prevent the Penguins from setting up on the power play, and the only way they were able to eventually do it was by just forechecking, dumping the puck in, and just turning it over, and then working that puck down low around the net on Andy Moog.
And give Boston credit, too, because with Dave Poulin out of the lineup, but also Lazaro in the penalty box, they came up big on the penalty killing effort. And Andy Moog has to take the puck again from behind the Bruin net. Galley over to Wesley, and he'll steer it up the sideboards, and it carries back to Penguin real estate. Barrasso made a big save on that situation, too, for the Penguins. Stanton going over to Wolf Samuelson. Now back to Stanton. 2:05 to go in the first period. Penguins 1, the Bruins nothing. Ryan Trottier finds Loney breaking into the Bruins in around. Galley now stops and shoots it. That glove save made by Andy Moog, and he juggled it and held on. Troy Loney with a couple of nice moves there. Stopped by Moog. 1-0 Pittsburgh, first period on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Shoes like these can cost over $100 a pair, and they're worn by some of the best paid athletes in the world. But the best paying athletes wear shoes that cost only a few bucks, and these athletes pay big money to their fans.
You can win that big money and enjoy the thrills and excitement of live harness racing at Ladbroke at the Meadows.
They're worn in the best of circles, the winner's circle.
Yeah, we're ticking down here the final 2 minutes of period number 1. Cam Neely bringing the puck to the Penguins in. Has some room, and he shoots it, and he missed the net off the rebound. Nyland can't put it in the rebound. Shot again by Galley and just offline. I think Barrasso may have got a piece of that. Yager back 1-on-1 against Glenn Wesley. Yager comes up. He makes a little move down the left side and shoots it towards the goal. Galley or Wesley blocked it. He'll put it to the ice around. Loney can't get over. Nyland and he collide. And the puck back to center ice. Cam Neely again carries it back to the Penguins end. Fake a shot. Move in. And pulls the trigger on that one. That'll miss the target. And around off the glass and up into the seats as Neely and Paul Stanton jaw with one another. Brody Roberts also over, and here's Nyland along with Troy Loney once again. That's been the only fight we've had in this series. It was between Loney and Nyland, and in fairness, I really believe that Nyland was the guy that instigated that situation. So as far as Mike Milbury having concern for the Penguins being physical and taking liberties with the Bruins, I haven't seen a whole lot of that. We've had only one fight in 3+ games. Penguins lead 1-0 with 1:23 left here in this first period. And Mario Lemieux steps on with Randy Gillen for the Penguins and Mark Recchi. The two defensemen will be Larry Murphy and Gordy Roberts. You want to try and protect here, not to give up a late first period goal to get the Bruins momentum going in. They played pretty well this period, the Bruins have. Much better, I think, than in game 3. And here's Ray Bork off the right boards, wristing one that'll miss. Ran by Mark Recchi. The shots are 12-11 in favor of the Penguins at the moment. Recchi up ahead trying to headman it to Lemieux, and Ray Bourque again reads that just so well. Not going to be too easy to get it through to Mario Lemieux on those headman long passes, because Raymond Bourque is waiting for him every time Lemieux's on the ice. So maybe it gives you an opportunity to work things a little differently, because Bourque is favoring Lemieux in all situations. And you can sneak somebody back in as Lemieux cuts up center around that left wing, and maybe just fake the pass, or look like you're going to go to Lemieux and throw it behind him and let the man carry it down the left wing, which right now would be Kevin Stevens. Marquardt's on him. And the Bruins come up with it from the draw. Ray Bourque turns it over to the Penguins' zone. The Penguins have to hurry back to get an icing call, and they do, as Gordy Roberts got his stick in first. The oncoming Jeff Lazaro, who has tremendous speed. Lazaro, the nephew of Joe Lazaro, the professional blind golfer. Signs here at the building. I don't know where that one is. Where'd they find that one at? Somewhere. Mark Recchi now in the Bruins zone with 1:02 to go, and the Bruins are in the same situation now with a face-off at the other end of the rink, wanting to make a mistake here and give up a second goal, which would put them back behind the Penguins 2-0. Lemieux from the draw, couldn't get to it. Right point though. Murphy stumbles a bit. Lazaro steps into him, and Mario Lemieux bouncing off the glass through to center ice. Bob Sweeney lost it to Mario Lemieux. Here comes Recchi now, takes the pass. Recchi left wing trying to go to Lemieux in front, and he's too well covered by Don Sweeney. And back come the Boston Bruins. Nevin Marquard on right wing, going to the Penguins end. Ray Bourque went in deep. Marquard, a C crunch penalty coming up against Stevens. He'll be short-handed, the Penguins will. And Stevens put the body into Nevin Marquard. Right behind the Penguin net, the Bruins pull their goaltender, and now Roberts is up in front. But Kevin Stevens will get a boarding call here for hitting Nevin Marquard. And now Roberts and Marquard push and shove in front of the goal. But the Bruins will get another power play chance, their third of the game. And it comes late in this first period, 19:27. The time of the call against Kevin Stevens, and boarding will be the call. And you just get that feeling right now, if you're playing on the ice, either one of these clubs, and McCreary is going to call this game extremely close.
Pittsburgh penalty, number 25, Kevin Stevens, 2 minutes for 40. Time of the penalty, 19:27.
Who was that? Lemieux was hit, apparently, around the net. Lemieux now talking to referee Bill McCreary. It happened after the play and after the penalty was called. Kevin Stevens, an intent look on his face, sits down here. And the penalty, if the Bruins do not score in the final 33, will carry over to the second period. Penguins so far have had tremendous penalty killing, particularly this man out here now, Randy Gillen, along with Joe Mullen, Alf Samuelson, and Paul Stanton back. Neely will handle the draw. Right wing circle, Penguins in. Janney to the right point to Ray Bourque. Left side to Wesley. Will he shoot it? Joey Mullen comes over to shut him down. They dump it around to the right wing corner to Craig Janney. Janney wheel and deal behind the net to Ruzicka. Ruzicka back to Janney. 21 to go in the period. Janney left side over to Wesley. Wesley doesn't shoot it. Throw it in behind the Penguin net, and Alf Samuelson challenged by Ruzicka. Ruzicka centers. It comes to Wesley. Off to Ray Bourque. Fires it. Deflected and went wide. Mullen trying to clear. Does get it to Gillen with 8 seconds to go. One man back. Ray Bourque, tough job to beat him. He shoots it though, and it's off the stick of Mullen. Look out in the crowd again. That hit the upper deck and came back down. And we had a man earlier in this period get hit with the puck right in the forehead, it appears. That one came up, went to the upper deck, and then trickled on down back into the lower part of the arena. A la baseball you'd have at the stadium. Everybody's converging for it, fighting for it, and it drops out of their hands and down a level. That one hit him Moog's stick. 3 seconds left in the period. Penguins, if they could win a draw, might try and set it up here for Scotty Young with one of those patented big shots that he has. Who's going to handle the draw? Yeah, somebody's got to go in. Randy, he will against Neely. Looks back. Young sets himself at the top of the circle, a little bit outside of that, about 45 feet away from the netminder, Andy Moog. And Gillen's job will be to try and get it right back to him, and or two. Mullen maybe in a deceptive move, who's cruising in too. They drop the puck, and the Bruins come up with it. 1 second, and that's going to do it. So the period ends. The Penguins get the only goal in the first period. And a look at the scoreboard. Shows the Penguins won and the Bruins nothing here at the end of the first 20 minutes right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Just traded in that great deal I got 4 years ago. Now I know who paid for the big rebate and the low interest rate. Live and learn. That's why I drive a Toyota now. And Camry's the most trouble-free new car in its class, with an option package that saved me real money today. And value that's going to save me real money tomorrow. Live and learn.
See your Toyota dealer today for Toyota value. It's the best deal going.
More cars and greater savings than ever waiting for you on the runway. There's nothing else like it. 19 dealers in one convenient location, all working together to give you the best deal you can get. The Runway, one of the most concentrated selections of automobiles anywhere. Luxury cars, sports cars, compacts, trucks, wagons, vans, all priced to sell now. The Runway, 19 great dealers between the airport and Sewickley.
For those of you who have been reluctant to wear a hearing aid, Miracle Ear has more great news. If you have trouble hearing in noisy situations, the exciting Miracle Ear Clarifier may be your answer. The Clarifier features a special filter that automatically reduces background noise.
In a restaurant situation, it picks up the noises I want to hear, but the other noises are just moved off into the background.
If you or someone you know thinks they may be suffering from hearing loss, call Miracle Ear at this number and receive helpful information.
It really makes a lot of difference in your way of hearing and in your way of life.
Call this number. Miracle Ear will send you a booklet on better hearing, plus a coupon for a free hearing test. Call today. Learn about all the good news from Miracle Ear.
A lot of people don't even know you got it, especially the one I got, the design that I got.
Call this number. Find out if Miracle Ear can help you.
On the Appliance Store scoring summary at the end of one, the Penguins leading 1-0, and Bob Airy had the only goal for the Penguins, his third of the playoffs, from Mario Lemieux and Mark Recchi. That goal at 8:49. And in the first period, the Penguins had 13 shots against Andy Moog, and the Bruins had 11 on Tom Barrasso. Both teams unable to score on the power play. They're 0 for 2, but the Bruins are working on their third chance, which will carry over into the second period, and they'll have 1 minute and 27 seconds in which to work with on that power play. And Paul Steigerwald is ready with one of the real workhorses on this Penguin team, the Grinders, Bob Airy. Let's join them right now.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I think good luck for Bob Airy that we picked him to come on with us between periods. And Bobby, you scored the goal for the Penguins, the only goal of this hockey game to give the Penguins a 1-0 lead. And it was a nice play by Mark Recchi to feed the puck to Mario Lemieux. You went to the net, and I know that your job there is to make sure that you're watching what's going on the outside your zone also, or getting ready to do that. But you were in great scoring position on this play.
Yeah, I was taking a look at, I saw Rex working deep, and I knew he was going to get it back to Mario. Mario, every time he's got the body on, I think it was Bork there, or
it was Janny,
was it? Mm-hmm. Whenever he gets his body in the way, you know he's coming to the front of the net, so I just went to the far corner and hoped he'd see me.
I think it's an interesting play that Mario makes, and I made comment of it when the goal was scored. He seems to allow that guy to get position on him and make that guy think that he's in the right place to break up the play, but in fact, Mario has a knack of being able to reach in from behind and take it away from him.
Yeah,
he does it a lot, doesn't he?
He lets the guy get in there and maybe put his stick in there. And Mario's so strong with his stick, he just lifts it up, and then he can get the body in the way, and the guy's beat then, and he just pulls it to the front with that long reach.
Bob, obviously a lot of talk before this game about how physical the Bruins were going to play it, and I think they pretty much did that in the first period. They came out hitting as much as they could. What has got to be your response as a team to the way the Bruins are playing the game?
Well, I think the key is for us, if we can initiate the action out there, that's what we want to do. If they can, we can get some of their players to retaliate, and the key is our power play, capitalizing on those bad penalties. You know, as well, we want to initiate. We don't want them to take it to us. We want to make sure we're banging with them. And you know, you have to realize they got a lot of depth and a lot of heart in that team, and they're not going to. We knew they'd come out strong. They weren't going to take this game lightly.
We also often hear the Penguins and all teams really talk about not taking retaliatory penalties. This is an area where I know that a couple of years ago it was difficult for you at times because you're not a big guy and guys would take shots at you and you like to hit people too. Do you think you've become better in the last couple of years at keeping yourself under control in those situations?
I think so, especially when You know, I think you have to realize it's a playoff hockey here, and one penalty could cause the outcome of a series, or send you home early. So we realize we don't want to take stupid penalties. We're going to kill the good ones, good hard hits, and maybe sometimes the ref's going to call you here and there for being aggressive, but we're going to kill the good ones. We want to stay away from the retaliatory penalties.
Bob Johnson uses the expression, nobody can skate faster than the puck out there. I think the Penguins have been a team that over the last year or so, particularly under Bob Johnson, that has been able to negate a lot of the physical play of teams, particularly teams that forecheck very hard by doing that. Isn't that true?
I think so. That's our key. We really want to make a quick transition. When people dump it in, we want to get it out quick and catch them in between, and that way we can use our skating and our passing abilities. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team, and if we're going to skate and if we're going to have the work ethic that we do every night that we're having right now, that it's pretty tough to beat this team.
Bob, you've been here since 1983, and you've never seen the atmosphere like this for hockey in Pittsburgh. I know that because you've never been this far, but just talk about what it's been like for you to be a part of this.
Yeah, I think, it just gives you chills every time you come on the ice for a big game, and then the fans are all behind just standing. I think you still get them. I still get them every game, and I think that's part of it. That's part of the adrenaline in you, and when that goes away, I think it's time to hang up the blades. But I get that every game, and I'm eager to get out there and do my best to help the hockey club win.
Well, you've done that a lot, Bob, and we appreciate it. I know the fans do, the hard work that you put in every night, and congratulations on getting that goal. Keep it going.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, Bob Area of the Penguins has been our guest. He skates like a greyhound out there on the ice for the Penguins, and they lead the Bruins 1-0 after one period on the Penguins Hockey Network.
It's hometown flavor and the glitz and glamour of the big time as Syria Temple and Kogo's bring Circus Vegas to the Civic Arena May 31st through June 2nd. See high-flying acrobats, amazing trained animals, the funniest clowns, and tons of elephants. It's Syria Temple's Circus Vegas with affordable seats in the comfort of the Civic Arena. Get your tickets now at all choice seat locations or call 412-333-SEAT.
In business, an extra hour of preparation time can make the difference. So executive transportation becomes a necessary part of the strategy.
Yes, Mr. Casper.
And today, more and more business is done on the way to and from business.
Hi there. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Bart, $200. And this is our proposal.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Carriage Limousine Services. We provide a more efficient use of executive time.
Shop the Appliance Store, the Tri-State's name brand headquarters and largest Panasonic and Techniques dealer. Get the biggest selection and the biggest savings on Panasonic TVs, portables, stereo monitor receivers, stereo projection TV, video cassette recorders, and video camera recorders too. Save on Techniques receivers, cassette decks, CDs and CD changers, systems, Techniques, and Panasonic at the Appliance Store, where you get the best for less.
Evidently, some people have money to burn. Why else would they pay an outrageous fee to carry a simple credit card when they could carry the Discover card, the card that charges no annual fee, yet pays cash back on every charge, which means it puts money into your pocket instead of burning a hole in it. It pays to Discover.